Welcome to Lecture 12. We'll talk a little bit about other branches of biology, e.g. biogeography, etc. Biogeography, the branch of biology that deals with geographical distribution of animals, reveals that different geographical areas sometimes exhibit groups of animals of a strikingly similar appearance. It is difficult to explain so many similarities as the result of coincidence, given that the organisms may be only distantly related. Instead, natural selection appears to have favored parallel evolutionary adaptations in similar environments. Because selection in these instances has tended to favor changes made the two groups more alike, their phenotypes have converged. This form of evolutionary change is referred to as convergent evolution. A shark is an elasmobranch, and a cetacean is a mammal. However, their body shape and how they move through the ocean is remarkably similar. This is an example of convergent evolution, because they're not related very closely via a recent common ancestor, no. But they live in similar environments and needed to adapt in similar ways to survive in those environments. Marsupials and placentals have evolved in similar ways in different parts of the world. Australia separated from the other continents more than 70 million years ago. At that time, both marsupials and placentals had evolved, but in different places. Only marsupials occurred in Australia. As a result of this separation, the continent is dominated by marsupials. To an astonishing degree, the marsupials resemble the placentals living today on the other continents. The similarity between some individual members of these two sets of mammals argues strongly that they are the result of convergent evolution, similar forms having evolved in different isolated areas because of similar selective pressures in similar environments. The development of related organisms along similar evolutionary paths due to strong selection pressures acting on all of them in the same way, i.e. parallel evolution, is illustrated in the figure. It's debatable if the phenomenon really exists. Many argue that all evolution is ultimately convergent or divergent. The evolution from one species of animals of several different forms. As the original populations increase in size, it spreads out from its center of origin to exploit new habitats and food sources. In time, this results in several populations, each adapted to its habitat. Eventually, these populations will differ from each other sufficiently to become new species. A good example of this process is the evolution of the Australian marsupials into species adapted as carnivores, herbivores, burrowers, flyers, etc. On a smaller scale, the adaptive radiation of the Galapagos finches provided Darwin with crucial evidence for his theory of evolution. Thylacis smilus, again in the figure, a metatherian, and Smilodon, in its figure, a placental, are an example of convergent evolution, when two or more branches of the tree of life get the same idea separately. Think of birds and bats, or dolphins and sharks. In these cases, through the genera lived in different epochs, both developed huge canine teeth. When species interact with the environment in similar ways, they are often exposed to similar selective pressures, and they therefore frequently develop the same evolutionary adaptations. Consider, for example, saber-toothed mammalian predators. Their source of prey, the megaherbivores, were, as their name suggests, colossal. It is no coincidence that metatherian and placental mammals evolved, similar maxillary canines. Consider fast-moving marine predators too. The hydrodynamics of moving through water require a streamlined body to minimize friction. It is no coincidence that sharks, tuna, and dolphins, among the fastest of marine species, have all evolved to have the same basic shape. We can infer as well that ichthyosaurs exhibited a similar lifestyle. Convergence is the evolution of similar forms in different lineages when exposed to similar selective pressures. The biogeographical distribution of species often reflects the outcome of evolutionary diversification with closely related species in nearby areas. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion on biogeography, and it's given you more of an insight into biology and evolution.